Hola, ¿cómo estás, mi amigos? I'm Valatory Light, and if you didn't see the intro, welcome to C.A.G.E. This week, I'm putting the anime in C.A.G.E. and starting our first video in the A by covering the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen along with its new movie, Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Like, share, and subscribe if you like the content, and please leave a comment down below. Tell us what you think about the video, the anime, a similar anime that you just need to gush about, or if you just want to talk in general. With that out of the way, let's get started. Alright, boys and girls, it's summary time before the gush for those in the audience who haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen. That title's a mouthful, so I'm calling it JJK from here on. A young man named Itadori Yuji is marked for death by his anime secret society of exorcists known as Jujutsu sorcerers, who protect the world from spiritual manifestations of negative emotions that humanity subconsciously creates known as cursed spirits. They want him dead after he eats a powerful cursed artifact of the long since passed Sukuna, the king of curses. However, Yuji is in luck because the cursed artifact comes in a set, 20 fingers to be exact, so his choice now is to be killed on the spot or to go to school and become a Jujutsu sorcerer collecting the remaining 19 and then being killed after collecting and swallowing them all. Remembering his grandfather's dying wish for him, Yuji takes up the responsibilities in hope of helping lots of people so he can die a good death, surrounded by loved ones. With the summary done, it is time for the gushing of this series, and especially the anime, because oh gee golly willikers, I stole that. Does this anime look great? The choreography for combat is amazing, with cheering to be had regardless of who punches who, along with intense blood pumping music to keep the hype train running at full steam. Mappa, the studio animating this season, as well as the movie, really knocked it out of the park with every scene, whether big moment or not. Always looking its best. The anime delivers the sauce, but let's get on with the review. By review, I mean I'm going to talk about the shit I think is cool about the anime, because it's a year old, so most of you have already seen it. If there's anything you guys like about it, share with the class in the comments. Let's talk about it. Sounds good? Let's begin. Don't even get me started on that banger of an opener for the first half of the season. It's just hype-inducing and always sets the mood for the rest of your experience of the episode. Especially with it having my favorite part with its climax showing a what-if version of Yuji's and Yoshino's relationship. Let's look at it now, shall we? Oh, here it comes. Wait a minute. Hold on, rewind that back. Pause right here. When I first saw the opener, it was just another OP. My first thought on it were, oh cool, fourth member added to the gang. Then I made it to that point in the anime and the opener suddenly had me crying, taunting me with the idea on how things could have been. It was my first time experiencing an opener adding to the impact of an emotional scene that's actually in the show. I thought to myself, oh, this intro lied to me. Not in a bad way, of course, but this was my first time experiencing it. This shot of Yoshino living happily ever after with Itadori and the rest of the cast. On initial viewing, I just saw it as, there goes the anime intro spoiling the show again. But then I watched the anime and the OP instantly took up space in my long-term memory for faking me out like it did. It hurt to see what had become of it, and now the sleeping Yuji at the end of it makes me think he's sleeping because that's the only place he can see the happy ending of everything anymore. Within his dream. Alright, we all know the action is amazing. Every action scene is a treat to see, and I don't have much to say except when it comes to Itadori. Like, I know there are other users who like to brawl, but it's the best to me personally when it's Itadori throwing the punches. His free-flowing fighting going from one blow to the next is like art in motion. I mean, it is art in motion, literally. You get what I mean. Especially when the camera shows the POV of the person being brutalized by Itadori, like his fight with Mahito at the school, or the special grade demons at the bridge mission. Each swing has me jumping out of my seat trying to follow along like I'm in the action, watching them getting hit, pulverized, seeing his face come straight into the camera and smack, 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 smack. That shit is so fucking awesome. It's probably one of my favorite things I've seen anime do. Alright guys, this is the last thing I have for the regular anime, and then we'll move on to the review of the movie. I wanted to talk about Kugisaki and Nobara. Simply put, she's a badass. A fun one at that. A very expressive character who says what they are thinking without regret. Her antics with Itadori among the other comedic moments in the anime definitely had me laughing out loud, even on repeat watches. I know that has nothing to do with me calling her a badass, but we'll get there. She's not uncommon in anime, but for me, she was the first badass female in anime. Sure, you got your Tsunades and whatnot, but Kugisaki feels good to see do shit. And even though she does get saved a lot early in the show, it's always after she's done something awesome and reminds the audience that she is capable on her own. I'm probably not qualified to talk about this stuff, but you know, I had to say my piece. Heck, the season ends with their fight with the special grade curses having her be the key player in victory or defeat, and she does this by driving nails into her arm with no hesitation. No inner monologue of her plan, no epiphany moment how she could flip the script. The show trusts you to pay attention and come to the same conclusion she does, so we skip right into the action. It's awesome. I know Kugisaki's draw doll technique isn't particularly flashy or energetic, but her attitude carries the intensity of it and makes it work. Also, stabbing yourself with nails just to wound your opponent is insane and badass. Overall, the anime is great, and I don't have much to say other than what I talked about, and right now, it's a great 8 out of 10 if you care about review numbers. Now, on to the movie. Alright folks, welcome, and we are finally here for the Jujutsu Kaisen 0 review. I'm here to talk shop with how the movie is. There will be no spoilers for the most part. First, let's start with the negatives. First, as a regular movie, not an anime movie obviously, a regular movie, it all feels pretty fast paced. But it's an anime movie based off of a prequel short to the actual manga, so it's honestly forgiven. But if you're just your first time watching and like you're a big movie buff, it's pretty fast paced. I also did not read the manga before seeing it, so I was expecting the movie to cover a lot of questions that anime raised, to like, who's Okotsu? Well, we found out who that guy is. How does Toto know him? We did not find out how that he knows him, but you know, that's what I get for not doing some background research. But I like coming in blind, so I don't do background research. Those are only 2 questions, but still. With that out of the way, let's get into the good stuff. First, spoiler-free stuff for us anime-only watchers. As you might know, the movie is a prequel to the events of the current anime following the story of a boy named Okotsu Yuta. I'm not sure if I'm saying that last name right. Who is in a similar situation to Itadori in being possessed by a special grade spirit and being sentenced to the death by the Jujutsu Society. However, unlike Yuji, he's very meek in the beginning and scared of a lot of the world changing around him. Of course, he changes for the better and ends up saving the day in the end, because anime. Also, all the music used in the anime straight slaps. That's not a negative, that's a positive. That's it for the spoiler-free stuff, because the rest of my talking points are about stuff that happens in the anime. Well, the movie anime. So pause and go see the movie or get spoiled in 3, 2, 1. Here, spoiler territory, quick thoughts on the main plot. Not really main plot, I'm only going to explain it to you and then talk about the shit I thought was cool. Ready? Let's get started. I like the individual musicians. Yuta goes on with everyone to form some quick bonds, both with him finally answering the call to action with Maki at the cursed school and using Rika for the first time. That shit was horrifying. She is giant. The fight with the monkey Buddha demon with Inumaki was fun and creative too, especially because I thought he was going to solo it, but then I remember Inumaki's here. Perfect time to show off what cursed speech could actually do, and it could do a fucking lot, because you basically ask people to die, and then they have to die. Kind of get fucked. That was awesome. The main plot comes together pretty quickly after that side quest, as Geto Suguru enters the scene with cursed users in tow and basically announces his motivation as wanting to wipe out only the weak and protect the strong. For him, that equates to killing every non-curse user, so basically like billions of people that get fucking eviscerated, and only protecting curse users, so all the Sorcerer Society. So he will protect sorcerers who won't oppose him, but he wants to kill all non-curse users. So, he's evil. But, it was pretty cool seeing, like, his motivations. You don't know how he gets to where he is in the anime from this movie, but at least now I know some more about him other than just the curse user who helps the cursed spirits in the anime. But you also don't see why he thinks this way. But you do find out, if you don't read the manga, that him and Gojo were best friends. And you also find out the reason why he's pulling off this particular stunt now is because he knows Gojo's too powerful for him. And he needs to kill Yuta and steal Rika away from Yuta in order to gain the power to oppose Gojo and finally carry out his master plan on wiping out so many people. That's all I'll spoil plot-wise. Cool moments though. The chick who does everything for money went crazy with a huge fucking axe, like fucking chop, 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 chop. That shit was fucking badass. And Nanami, he's in the anime. There's a point where he talks about the Black Flash and how he did 4 in a row. Well, you get to see that here as he goes fucking ham mode on a bunch of cursed spirits after he's tired of seeing everyone getting fucking killed by them. He's like, alright, I'll do this shit. And that's really it. The movie's great and the animation was beautiful. It was made even better by being on the big screen, but that's what you expect, especially from Mappa, with how good they did in the first season. Thanks for watching to the end. What was your favorite part of the anime/movie? Comment below and let's talk about it. See y'all next time.